Before proceeding with any of your purchases or sales, it's important to set up your tax accounts. The way you would do that is to come into your Action tab and click your Accounts tab. And when this pops up, you will be able to make this a little bit wider over here if need be, but you would scroll down here, your sales tax account, which would be in here, and you can click this to open up your sales tax. Now what you would do is you would contact your local government and find out what your specific sales tax is related to your specific area, and you would click in here and you would probably change the name, because typically these sales taxes have got specific names that you would enter in here. So you would change the sales tax name and you would come down to the tax field over here and enter the amount that you would actually want to enter. In my local sales tax is 8.25, but I know many other states and counties this is very different variable depending on what your location is. Other taxes that you could put in here are state sales taxes versus the local sales taxes. It's just as simply as a matter of coming in here and you could create a new one. You could right click here and click add to create a new tax item under one of these sales tax amounts. But typically what you would do in this case would be to select the sales tax that you have, give it the appropriate name, click on the tax, change the percentage of the tax, and then click Save, which is at the top there. So if you come in here and you make a change, let's just make that 326 for example, and then it asks you if you want to save it, yes or no. In this case I'm going to say no, but it would be important that you actually set up your tax amounts like that, because that relates to when you're selling inventory or any of those other things. If, for example, when you come in and you create inventory item, it's going to be related to the sales tax that you actually put in here. So when you're purchasing it in America, most often you don't actually have to pay tax when you're actually purchasing an item. You only have to charge tax when you're actually selling the item. So that's the difference between input and output tax. But each one of these taxes is related to an inventory item, and the other time that you're going to see that is when you create an invoice, and you create a new invoice and you just pick up one of these items. You can see that there's a sales tax there, is that it's related to the sales tax, and you can go and change that on the fly if you need to, or if it relates to a different type of customer, government versus end user, or any of those different types of tax scenarios that you might come across. So that's how you would adjust the taxes, and then when you actually get a report at the end, you could go to your reports and go to the reports and say you want to get a sales tax report from which account to which account, and you would pick let's just choose all of them from the top to the bottom and over the past year and say OK, and there you can see how much tax you've accumulated from sales that you've actually made according to those specific tax items.